This content in this presentation should not be considered as a recommendation to buy or sell security. All information is intended for educational purposes only and in no ways should be considered investment advice. So here I will be talking about moving averages and exponential moving averages as well. So what is moving averages? It is the most commonly used trend indicators. They do not predict price directions. It can be used in any time frame. To determine the support and resistance level, we can use that, and to generate trading signals as well. We will be looking at this in terms of a stock as well, and we will try to find how these moving averages plays an important role in buying and selling, even in support and resistance level, how we can decide. We'll see. So this is the chart of simple moving averages. This black line is 200 moving averages, and that another one that is orange one is 10-day moving averages, and that okay, here it is. Black one is 200, red one is 50 dma, and green one is 100 dma moving averages. So simple moving averages is an arithmetic moving averages that can be calculated for a different number of time period. For example, 5-day simple moving averages is calculated by adding the closing price for the last 5 days, and then we need to divide it by 5 because it is for 5-day moving averages. In the same manner, 50-day moving averages can be calculated by adding the closing price of 50-day closing prices, and then we'll divide it by 50, and same applies for 200 as well, the same manner. Then comes the exponential moving average. Exponential moving average is similar to simple moving average, but applied more weight to the most recent data and will follow price more closely than a corresponding simple moving average. EMA is very fast to react to the market price because EMA gives more importance to the most recent data points. So this is the chart that we have taken of Tata Steel, and we have applied exponential moving averages here. We will be explaining this one once we will see the MSI application. So what is the difference between simple moving average and exponential moving average? So basically simple moving average is the price over a period of time. Even exponential moving average also give extra weightage to the recent data. Simple moving average is bit lagging one, whereas exponential moving average is not so lagging compared to the simple moving average. It is simple moving average is less sensitive to the recent prices, whereas exponential moving averages is more sensitive to the recent prices. Simple moving averages change trend slower, whereas we can see the trend changing in exponential moving average faster than simple moving averages. So moving averages cross over. So the moving average crossover occurs when two different moving averages line crosses over another one. It helps in identifying change in trend. Generally what happens, longer time for crossover means great impact. So there are basically two types of crossover: upward crossover, that is golden crossover, and then downward crossover, that is death crossover. In this golden crossover, as I said, short-term moving averages undercut the long-term moving averages from below. From the downward, it will be doing that. And we have taken the example of Tata Motors in this case. So here what happens, this golden crossover 50 DMA has, so 50 DMA has retaken from its 200 DMA, and then it has stock is trying to move upward side. This is the best example of golden crossover. We can find so many stocks based on golden crossover. Then comes the death crossover. Short-term moving averages undercuts the long-term moving averages from above. So in this one, like if we see the Hero Motors, then we will see that this here the meeting point, the meeting points of this, it has tried to cut 50 DMA to its 200 DMA, and then a stock is falling. So this dead crossover is a sign of bearishness, and golden crossover is a sign of bullishness. So if you'll see the example, just as I explained, I will show one or two example on this. Let's say Cipla. So Cipla, if you can see it here in Cipla, this is our Market Smith India app. Yeah? And if you see the Cipla here, then we'll find the golden crossover here clearly, where 50 DMA has undercut its 200 DMA to upside, and then stock has rallied so much. Even as I said in golden crossover, even short-term moving averages is doing the cut in the long-term moving average. So in that case, even we can apply with 21 DMA, which will try to cut its 50 DMA, and then stock can move higher. So here, if you'll find, see this black one is 21 DMA here again, and see once it has done like that, then the stock has rallied till here. So this is the example of golden crossover in supply. Random, we can take any stocks. If will what I can take, like I'm taking Tata Steel. Tata Steel. If you see Tata Steel, then on this particular date, like 28 August 2020, we have seen the golden crossover in Tata Steel, and then we have seen the massive rally till here. If even the short duration one like 21 DMA has also done the same thing here on 19th February, and it has behaved in the manner of golden crossover, and then from here also it got the opportunity to enter, and then stock has rallied till here. So these are the example of golden crossover. Even if we'll see the example of death crossover, we can find many stocks. As I have already discussed here. It's not moving. Okay. So if you'll see this, okay, here we can see, here see, here 21 DMA has done same thing. It is just opposite of golden crossover, where 21 DMA has reached its 50 DMA. In sense, like 21 DMA has undercut its 50 DMA, which is the longer term moving average, and 21 DMA is shorter term moving average. So short term moving average is doing the cutting in long term moving average, and the stock price is like in the consolidation phase. And again, the same thing has happened here on, let's say, on 18th March, where 21 DMA has cut its 50 DMA, and then the stock is falling like this. So as I told that this golden crossover and death crossover, these both are signal of bullishness and bearishness respectively. So I think from here on, Yatisha will be taking care of. Yatisha, are you there?
Hello everyone. Good evening everyone. So I'll be taking care of candlestick pattern. So before going to candlestick pattern, why we have chosen the candlestick, Japanese candlestick charts. So I'm going to explain. Like if you go to our MSI charts, you can see the chart is like we have high, low, and the closing price. So what is the difference between that candle and what is the difference between this Japanese candlestick? So the Japanese candlesticks have the weightage for the open also. So where the stock has opened its where the stock has opened in the initial of the trade during the day and where it has closed. Also, one more thing, if you see other chart patterns, like there are line patterns are there, like hollow charts are, point and figures are there. Why candlestick patterns are mostly used in the world, like many traders, many investors use candlestick patterns. Because of its like nature, like we can easily interpret the data, like from where the stock has been headed and how the particular stock price has behaved in the particular day or in the time period. So how to interpret this candle? So if you see on the left hand side, you will see the green candle. It's a bullish candle. So in this bullish candle, the open has been open of this particular days or week or month has been opened at the low and closed at the high. And also if you see, there is a wick in the top and the bottom. So this is a range, this is a stock has been moved to the high point of the during the day, for example, or it has moved till the low of the day's low. Similarly, if you go to the bearish candle, which the open has been very high but the close has been the close of the stocks price is below than the open price, so this is a bearish candle. So this is a simple chart pattern, the candlestick pattern, so easily we can interpret where the stock or how the stock has behaved in the particular day. If you come see the difference with the MSI charts, you will not see the open price of the particular stock. So let's move on to the next PPT. Like what is a there is a certain candlestick patterns where we can helpful for the identifying the trend of the market. So how the moving average will help in the like longer period of time. So this candlestick pattern will help in the particular single day or single week, whatever the time period we will take, that time period candlestick pattern will be very helpful to identifying the trend. So first pattern will be the doji pattern. So what is doji means? Doji is a Japanese term. So doji means there is a like a foolish candle. We can say the foolish candle, the unbiased candle we can say. So what happens in doji is the open and the close, which open price is equal to close price in the simple term. So whatever the open price is there, whatever the close price is, both are almost same. So it will be formed in the like kind of cross plus sign of the candle. So there will be high and low, and open and close will be common. And the second one will be dragonfly. So here the open and close will be at the top of the high tip of the candle. So like if that stock price has moved in the during the day and touched its low below, and again it came back to closed at near that open price, so that came as, and they'll be taken as dragonfly doji. So we'll be explaining how it is in how we can interpret this doji signs in the coming slides. So this is the first single candlestick patterns which will be useful for identifying the trend in the market. So next one is gravestone doji. It's a quite inverse of the dragonfly doji. So here the open and the close price will be at the bottom of the day. And long leg doji. So here the it will be like cross. The open and the high close price will be closed at the upper half of the candle. If you consider the range of the candle, it will close in the upper half of the candle, above the like if you consider take as a 50% of the candles high and low, it will be closed more than 50% of the candles range. So these are the doji signs. We often see some doji signs like in the last if you observe the Nifty charts in the last three months, you will we can see many doji candles in the Nifty itself. Like there is like kind of indecisiveness. The doji candle is kind of indecisiveness in the market. So the big players, even the retail buyers and sellers, they don't know how to act in this current market. So it's kind of tug of war between buyers and sellers. So it's like they don't want to push it either on the higher side or on the lower side. So this doji forms in that specific time. So what is hammer? So hammer is kind of it can be considered as bullish as well as bearish. It depends upon the placement of the candle. Here, if you observe the doji and the hammer, here you can see the body of the candle. So you can see the open and the close. It's quite different than the doji candle. So here the hammer pattern, either it is called bullish hammer, or it is an inverted hammer. So here the wick, whatever the long upper shadow, wick or the upper shadow will be long, and there will be a rectangular face or a square. It could be anything depending upon the price and open and the close. So it will form either in the any of the market. Like the main characteristic is upper the shadow of the candle. Also, if you see the next comes to the harami candle. The harami means in Japanese terms the pregnant lady. So if you observe carefully, it's a two candlestick patterns. One follows the other. The first candle here, the bullish harami, you can see the red candle, the bearish candle is itself it's covering the next whole bullish candle. So it's kind of its mother's womb, how it will be there. So it's kind of bullish candle will be placed next to big bearish candle, but it should not cross the it should not go beyond that previous bearish candle. So it should in order to satisfy that rule, harami rule. So this next candle should be trade in between the previous bearish candle. So similarly, in the bearish harami candle, big bullish candle will be there, but next will be the bearish candle. In between its body, in between its whatever the body range of the body is there, it should be trade in between that. Okay, so these are the single candlestick patterns. This harami candle is a two candlestick patterns. So this will identify the trend in the market. So the next pattern will be bullish. There will be like similar candle pattern sticks we can use in the bullish market as well as in bearish market. So here we'll discuss that trend as well as the three candlestick pattern as well as the uptrend, next uptrend. So first one will come to the hammer. So if you observe carefully, this bottom of the hammer has made long shadow, lower shadow with hammer kind of pattern, hammer pattern. After that, it went into the rally. So in order to satisfy this rule, the first rule will be there should be a downtrend. So there should be a downtrend before that. This candle formation, there should be a downtrend. After the downtrend, this long wick will be formed, and it doesn't matter the candle color is bullish or bearish. It should form the hammer kind of pattern. After that, it should next follow through, next third day, it should come the bullish candle should be formed. So this is a reversal candle, we can say. After the downtrend, stock exhaust, all the sellers will move out, and again the same day comes back to the near to the open previous day close, and again it will next day it will form a bullish candle and it will rise up from that level. So this is a bullish candle, bullish hammer candle. So next one will be bullish engulfing pattern. pattern. So here the pattern is combined of two patterns. If you observe the bottom red candle, and the next candle will be big bullish candle which covers almost the previous candle. So the bullish engulfing candle is itself whenever there is a downtrend, after that, once the downtrend is over, the next candle will be it's almost covering the previous candle. It can be considered as bullish engulfing. From that level, stock should go uptrend. This is a very good reversal sign in the downward market, after downward market. So identifying the trend where our rally attempt and follow through day comes here. It's the same thing in the candlestick patterns. And if you go to the next one is morning star. So what is this is a very common candlestick patterns where in the market we can see many stocks. If you observe, you'll find the many morning star patterns. So here the candle, there should be a downtrend, and there is a bullish or bearish candle should be we observe a bullish candle or the bearish candle in the first day. After that, on the third day, there will be a big bullish candle, which it should not undercut the doji or the hammer formation in the bottom. So this is a reversal candidate. There will, if you observe, there will be a gap up or gap down opening also might be there in the morning star. So there should be a follow buying after the morning star formation. So these are like three candle formation charts where once the downtrend is over, how to identify the bullish trend from here. One is kind of hammer, and one more is bullish engulfing, and one more is morning star. So these are the bullish candlestick. Now let's go to the bearish candlestick pattern. So here the quite opposite. Whatever the bullish, first there will be an uptrend, then there will be a reversal pattern. So there will be a reversal candles. That similar candle what we discussed in the first single candlestick charts, like hammer, inverted hammer, which can be formed in the at the top of the uptrend. So how to identify this when to sell these stocks? So here we can identify there should be an uptrend, and there is a big bullish candle will be there on the first day of the rally, last day of the rally. Post that there will be a long wick which formed in the top of the price. It could be like stock could be in the trading in the 52-week high or lifetime high. So after that, the stock, all the sellers will come down, and next day it will fall below the first day's candle. So once on the third day, it will show a sign of negativity. There will be a huge gap down, or there will be a gap down. So once this criteria confirms, so we can identify as, okay, now the stock has been kind of made a reversal kind of pattern. So hence we can exit, or we can book partial profit, whatever which we suits in that particular time. So after post that, the stock has to come down once it confirm the evening star pattern. So evening star pattern confirms when these first three candles satisfies our trend. okay, now the stock has been never coming back to that big closing price or the opening price of that top candle. So then there will be a reversal sign. So it's called hanging man pattern also. So here the hammer, if you see the hammer pattern has formed in the top. So next comes to the bearish engulfing. So it's quite opposite to the bullish engulfing, where bullish engulfing uh, there will be a bearish candle. After that, there will be a bullish candle at the which covers the whole previous candle. So here the quite opposite. There will be a uptrend and there will be a bullish candle at the top. Post that, there will be big bearish candle which crosses the previous day high also, but which could not sustain, and almost it covers whole covers the whole body of the previous bullish candle and closes at the day's low. So post that there will be a stock it cannot move to the previous day high on the third day. So hence there we have to sell the stock. On the third day we have to sell the stock since it is not moving. It is not able to move its previous high or previous day's close open. So here we have to sell the stock. And the last one is yeah, evening star. So these are we can say inverted shooting star also. These top formation candle has formed is called shooting star. So shooting star is a single candle formation, but evening star is a three candle formation. So first there should be a clear cut uptrend. After that, stock will move to the new high and it will exhaust. All the new buys will stop, and it closes at near day's low or near day's low. This here the body of the candle doesn't matter. So here, this is also we can say that climax top also. So here the stock has been exhausted, all the buying is over. Now there is no fresh buying coming up. So we'll wait for the next day to sell the stock. So next day what happens, it may try to cross above that level, but at the end of the day it's closing below the that evening shooting star pattern. So hence that is a clear cut show that so from here the stock cannot move from further. So we can book profit in this particular stock. So after that there will be a downtrend. It depends upon the time how we follow. But these are the rules where we can follow how to identify the bullish trend as well as bearish trend. Mayuresh, so any questions for us? Any?
Yeah, right. So Rai Atisha, very well explained. Guys, I think the basics of chart pattern was very nicely explained by Rai and Atisha, and this becomes the base for any of technical indicators or any of the technical actions that you want to monitor, right? So this becomes like a foundation course in terms of looking at the technicalities when it comes to pricing and when it comes to stocks and when it comes to price volume action and all the lingo that goes with that, right? So I think we are largely done with the session. If you've got any questions, you can put that on the chat. So I think Rai, Atish, and me will be more than happy to help you. Any question, guys, on the chart patterns? Anything more that you want to know on that? Just type in. More than happy to answer.
There is one question over what time frame will these patterns need to read or interpret it. So it depends how we are going to the trade. Like if we are trading in a kind of day trading or day monthly time frame or holding swing trading kind of thing. So these are like these candlestick patterns will be very useful for trading purpose. Also, we can see to the investing purpose also, but these MSI chart patterns are so good, which can be helpful for investing purposes. So, could you explain bullish engulfing? Okay, sure. So, bullish engulfing is kind of wait one second. So, bullish engulfing. If you see, there should be a prior downtrend should be there. So once the downtrend is almost over, there will be a big bullish candle which covers almost to the previous bearish candle. So wait one second. So if you observe here the bullish candle. So if you observe this bullish candle, there will be a downtrend. After that downtrend, there will be a one bullish candle will be formed here. After that bullish candle, one big bullish candle will be formed, which covers almost the previous previous bearish candle. It can be crosses low as below this, but it covers almost this previous bearish candle. From there will be a follow-up buying comes up. Then there will be a clear-cut uptrend. So one can trade immediately after seeing this pattern, or do we have to wait some? It's depend upon your risk appetite. So one can buy at the day itself the bullish engulfing pattern. You can take a half position or kind of thing, and you can try code that. After that, if you need a confirmation, wait for another day. How the next day this candle formations. But the one thing is, if you it depends upon the risk, like where you keep the stop loss, where you will be a good buy point will be there. So that and all matters here. So that is other things. Like these are the clear-cut reversal pattern in the candlestick pattern. Also, we can clarify engulfing patterns. Does the second candle give? We can say body as well as wick. Body, it covers almost the whole previous bearish candle. So these are candlestick patterns which are like very exhaustive. There is more than 20-30 candlestick patterns are there. We have covered only 9 to 10 candlestick pattern. If time permits, we'll kind of make another session for exhaustively for this candlestick pattern.
Great. I think, Yatish, I think most questions also have been answered.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think that's it. Any more questions, guys, before we wrap it up?
Okay, she's asking to explain the morning star again.
Yeah, okay. So the morning star here, here it is. You can say either the first criteria for all is there should be a clear-cut downtrend. Here after the downtrend is over, there will be a reversal sign. If you see this candle, there will be after touching its low, the stock has been moved up little up, It doesn't matter the where the candle has formed in bullish or bullish or bearish. This is just a one day identification. So here we can say some buyers are coming here into the picture. There can be some there can be some reversal in the cards. So we'll wait for another day. On the third day, there will be a big bullish candle form. So there will be a big bullish candle formed, which do not undercut the previous day's close or low. So there will be a gap down or gap up might be there. So one that could be an identification. So there will be a gap up or gap down will be there. After that, there will be a big bullish candle, and after that there will be a follow-up buying also. So here we can also observe the volume, how the volume has created during the last when there is a down volume, how the volume has came up, and how the bullish here how the volume came above average or below average. We can see also we can see the movement of moving averages, RSI or ADX, whatever be convenient of. That can also give an extra indicator to buy or whether to buy or not to buy. So if we go to the only price action of this chart, we can go for the buy. Once that on the third day there will be a big bullish candle formed, which it should not undercut the previous morning star or doji or hammer kind of pattern at the bottom.
Yeah, I think most of the questions have been answered. So Rai Atisha, superb, well done. Very nicely explained. I hope all you guys who are listening, I think the explanation in terms of chart pattern, formations, how do you identify bullish trends and bearish trends, what is the base behind each candlestick as we call it. I think there is, I hope there is some clarity now that when you see the charts next time, you'll probably be able to differentiate this. So thank you very much. Thank you, Rai Atisha. Till next week. Thank you.